The following presentation does not represent Australian opinion or intellect. We do not speak for any religious order or ethnic minority. We are not political scientists or uni graduates. We're insignificant upper-lower class scum, comparing notes and airing grievances. It's just our opinion. Deal with it.
No way that GST will ever be part of our policy. Never ever, it's dead.
They don't like it. Go back to where they're from.
It is a big idea.
No, we don't need them.
A new world order. By 1990, no Australian child will be living in poverty. You should shut up.
I've been having like these moments of rage, like absolute rage, and it only comes to me like weird times. Like I'll be driving, I've got Drake on, like I'm feeling myself.
Drake?
Yeah.
That would make anyone pissed off.
No.
Oh my God,
Feel
what
myself, like I'm loving it.
Dude, how can
Loving it.
Drake make you have fits of rage? Drake makes someone cry.
Hey, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in this
I'm
moment...
not having a go at you, I'm just saying Drake.
Yeah, no, I'm saying this moment, like, I'm feeling myself. I'm playing Drake, the sun's streaming in.
You know
I'm
he's
like,
building,
yeah.
he's gearing towards something.
Wait, I know.
I need to make your playlist, man.
Hey, I swear to God, if it's grunge rock, I'm not... No.
Grunge.
No.
When have you played grunge in this
My
room?
kind of music
I'm
pisses on
thinking
grunge, right?
Duhas.
That's metal.
That's metal. That's industrial metal.
That's industrial, yeah. To further break down the subject, industrial metal. It started with 9 Inch Nails, somewhere in the mid-90s.
I've been literally...
Slow rise.
Trent Reznor incorporated elements of EDM.
Drake and Eurotrash.
You know, I might start you off with like negative, typo negative.
Spine shank.
Anyway, sorry.
So I'm feeling myself, right? And we're driving, I'm like feeling the tune, and like all of a sudden I feel like a thought has hijacked my mind. Like a thought comes in, and without even like, you know, having the spot to think about things or to go, hang on a moment, breathe through it. It's like a thought, fucking rage. And it's just, and this is why I've gotten now TMJ or TMD, I don't even know what it's called, but that pain in your jaw, because I've transmuted like the energy to my jaw.
I get you.
Like fuck, like it's rage. And it's literally happened because of this out of control feeling and everything that I'm trying to like, I take care of myself, I take care of them, and I'm fighting for myself in front of every injustice that, yes, I choose to be in. However, that there's this balance, like I see change, and then it's also tumultuous. It's like depending on where this person is in their journey, they're going to react a certain way or otherwise. So what I'm trying to say is I'm living in a tumultuous situation that I'm constantly having to protect myself, and that makes me sort of high fight or flight response. Like I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And I'm heightened.
Yeah. Do you find yourself like holding back sometimes to protect the other person?
No, I hold
Good.
back. I hold back to protect myself if I hold back. So it's not because of me going, I want to spare your feelings. At this point, fuck you and your feelings. No, really.
So that's the healthy response.
Yeah, I was going to say, no. Yeah,
I think you guys don't, and you guys don't understand, I guess, the big scheme of things. Like, you only hear one side, and I guess it's hard for me to explain every part of how I am. I will not spare you of the truth or of what I think or feel. However, if I feel that, say if someone's not mature enough to deal with the truth, or if they're in denial about it, or if they're in fear about it, or, and a common one, if they actually blame themselves for it, but haven't yet claimed responsibility for that, they're going to blame you. You're the scapegoat. You're everything they blame. You're also their psychologist when they're in a good frame of mind. You're also their fucking mother when they're in a shit frame of mind.
They're a punching bag.
And you're a fucking punching bag.
Yeah, you're a punching bag.
And I am that. And it feels tumultuous. It's like, what am I going to get? So I'm vigilant and I'm very intuitive about where I'm stepping in and what I'm going to say. However, I die trying. Like, that's why it's exhausting. I'm never one to say, I'm not. Like, I'm like, I don't fucking care if you beat me in the fucking face. You're going to hear this.
You got to understand something, man.
Yeah.
And I've understood.
I'm exhausted.
This has become abundantly clear.
Yeah.
As the older I get, And the more I take on personally, where like, you know, my resources are fucking bare, right? Because I'm just stretched across so many different things. Yeah. Like I barely sleep anymore because I'm doing A, B, and C.
Right.
You're trying to have relationships with A, B, and C.
Yeah.
You're blah, blah, blah.
No, I
right?
get you.
I mean, look, dude, man.
I'm there anyway.
I used to, like 5-6 years ago, Nick and I would have breakfast at least once a week.
Yeah.
Now I might see him at the podcast, and then if we do something outside the podcast, it's probably once or twice a month, man.
Yeah, and probably come to your house, have a beer or something, or...
It's like literally...
Yeah.
And
I get
you know
it.
what I mean? These are people that are close to me,
Yeah.
and it's literally come to that. Like, you know, you have your routine. But this is the problem, yeah? I used to take everything on board, like the way you're saying, yeah? Like, I mean, I used to accommodate the people and just... I didn't want to affect the status quo because that's just how it was. And if I fucked up in 1987, then I would have to wear that for the rest of my life to make a situation okay by knowing my place and because of, you know, who I am and how I've changed someone and they're not mature enough to just deal, right? Or say what they think or just move, you know, like literally, yeah?
Yeah.
This is the problem, man. People are ultimately victims to their own fucking egos, their narcissism, their selfishness, like their needs, and once they become
And
products...
sometimes they're learnt behaviour.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily essence. Like you've told me, you've changed.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So it's their learnt behaviour.
It's you're a product of your environment,
Right. Yeah.
Once you know what your environment is, it's up
Right.
to you to determine what's wrong with it. What's right, dude? I'm a fucking maniac. Like I know I am.
Yeah.
But I'm well aware of where I snap, why, what sets me off.
Right.
And I've actively made
Progress in that
systems in
self-awareness.
place.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, especially like in, like, say, relationships I've been in or whatever, or, you know, dealing with, it's like, dude, I know that if I get my back against the wall because of A, B, and C, I'm going to feel stressed because of A, B, and C.
Right.
And this is what I need to maintain.
100.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we all have what we need and what we want in
100%.
life. And then people become comfortable.
Yep.
And it's like, no, well, if this dickhead keeps bringing me the bread every Tuesday, then I need to have the bread every Tuesday. And if they don't bring me the bread on one Tuesday, I'm going to fucking go nuts.
Right.
And then they need to fucking answer. Like, someone needs to answer for it.
Correct.
If you turn around and say, well, I don't want to bring you bread anymore. No. You need to find me that fucking bread every Tuesday because that's how I've learned for it to become. And like I said, they take on, this
100%.
becomes a status quo,
100%.
yeah? So dude, as soon as I started saying, you know what, like,
Fuck
in
you.
regards to say my family, my closest family, I'm like, you know what, man? What you're doing isn't nice. You've been doing it for, 20, 30 odd fucking years. I don't need to take this anymore.
Honestly, from what I've been through, and listening to your side of the story with what you've been through,
Yeah.
I really commend that, and it's something I admire, and not because, look, people either can change or they can't, right? But what's commendable is the trying to.
Yeah.
And making strides, however hard it is. But what I do commend in that is that it's extremely hard when it's family to break away from limited beliefs that have been instilled in you, the suppression of your self-esteem, all these things, right? I understand. And it's going way back to your fucking inner child and picking yourself up off the ground and rebuilding yourself in order to break away from something like that. So that's
But that's
what
exactly
I
the point.
admire.
Most people don't have the
completely.
balls to do that.
Or they have the balls, but it's difficult, it's tumultuous.
But that's what I'm saying. They
And
have
it's
too many
difficult on the
overheads.
people that love them around them.
Yeah.
There is too much social stigma, especially with wogs, man. We're the worst. Yeah, because like anytime I've told people that I'm having issues with like my extended family, or whatever, like, oh, but you can't turn your
And
back
then
on
there's-
family.
exactly.
Like, what are you nuts, dude?
Watch me. Watch me.
Watch me.
Blood or otherwise. We're all a goddamn family on this fucking planet. You treat me with respect, I treat you with respect, and that is love, not blood.
Aurora,
That is
Christmas
love.
Day, I ended up at his house.
And
Watching
that's
TV.
fucking love.
That's
Like,
family, man.
That's family.
I literally made 3-4 hours in my day to be at his
Cheers
house.
to that.
Yeah,
That's
legit.
the point.
Legit.
No, really,
That's the point.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
get
mean?
it, 100%. But it's these like, honestly, they're going to die soon. Let's hope. No, really, die with your beliefs. No one needs to fucking bring this shit along.
It's this
honestly, I mean, look, I don't really want people to die. However, what I'm trying to say is this old... No, I kill them in my mind for a reason, Nick. Like, I'm not a murderer. However, it soothes my rage.
I know what you mean.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
internalizing rage, anger, emotions, etc., yeah? Until you snap. Is that, say, a distinct thing that you're doing in regards to, say, one or two situations with people, like a group of people or whatever? Or is that a general form of how you...
No.
If this is direct?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not a general way that
I was just going to say...
And it's only been, in correlation with the specific thing I'm dealing with.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
And it's actually taken maybe 6 years in order for me to formulate this type of self-soothing to dissipate the rage.
Dissipate
no, really.
The rage.
Dissipate.
It's a mad name for a band.
Yeah, man. That's a sick name. Dissipate the rage.
He's writing it down, guys.
DTR, man. That is crazy.
You're
or even just a
welcome.
song.
Copyright.
Even just a song, man.
Dude, that
a
is...
brutal riff. Like As I Lay Dying.
Dude, can I just tell you, that is a sick... I want to start writing down song titles and shit from you, man.
That is
I
a
can see
killer.
the glimmer.
Dissipate the Rage. You know that would be like a kick-ass, like, opening track for a band? Seriously. I'm not even joking. That is that's a sick name, man.
That is literally this.
Easier.
I'm pretty sure I've played this song on this podcast before. I'm pretty sure I have.
Dude.
But that is literally what this is, man.
You guys
Dude.
are great.
Are you playing As I Lay Dying?
Nah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is my gym track. My one. Let's do chest. 50 sets. Let's go.
Let's do chess.
I'm serious.
And it starts with the drums. Sick track. You won't like it.
No, but that squeal. They're banging on metaphoric drums, guys.
Let's do this. Just fucking chest.
My drumsticks here, man.
Yeah, man.
Dissipate the rage.
Seriously.
I'm keeping that.
Dude, that's a mad name.
I'm copyrighting
Okay,
that.
the reason why I'm asking it,
Yes.
I'm asking it for a reason, yeah? And don't take it the wrong way. This is literally just an observation.
Keep the name
Yeah.
coming.
No,
as
no,
you're
no.
going.
I'm serious.
It's okay. I'll keep the one coming. The names will come.
Medically, if you were to be assessed and you gave that as, you know, what are your symptoms, and this is what you say, they would put that with borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What I don't like is when I have that. Like, I internalise shit.
Yeah.
And I fucking lose it.
Right.
And because of that, you also get your mood swings, yeah? You
Yeah.
go from high to low.
Yeah.
That would put you with the, what was the other one? When you're bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
All these terms, man, people like depression, you know, all these mental health issues.
People throw that
Don't
around like
get
People
nothing.
started.
throw them around like fucking Skittles at a party now, man.
Now, I honestly, it's interesting you guys bring this up because I was having this discussion about a week ago, and but a friend of mine, because I've had maybe 3 times in my life where I've gone through maybe severe depression.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as something that is exclusive. I think of it as something everyone goes to in varying degrees and in any time throughout their life, whether it be once, 10 times. I believe that it's a common human trait. I believe that it's a common human emotion and a human segment in their lifetime that people go through. I think that is really stigmatized, and put it this way, I haven't studied psychology, but I studied myself and other people, and I've been quite an aware human being and almost like an armchair psychologist in my own right, and I'd love to do it just to know a little more than what I do know, but I think I know a fair amount. It's like saying, I feel like I'm a teacher without going to fucking school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't have the papers for it, but you've read.
Right, and read and know and understand and have the skills acquired to know that much about people. When I think about these things like personality disorder, where someone can have 100 different personalities, basically all it comes down to is that that's an extreme version of what a normal, quote unquote, person would feel and does feel and go through based on what they deal with in their lives and how they go about coping with it. Having said that, when I saw a movie, what is it, Split? Or
What's Split?
I think it's a movie. It's called Split, I think, and it basically goes with this guy that's got this disorder and sees this psychologist, and he has 1,000 different personalities or whatever. And basically, what I understand from it is I can identify. I watch this movie and I don't have this fucking disorder, labeled disorder. But I empathized and understood exactly the process he went through.
Yeah.
In order
get to that
have
point.
it. And basically all it is a trigger, a feeling, and a different way of coping or not coping that's led you into that deeper rooted different personality. And what it comes down to also is for people to cope, they either have to adjust their personality to cope with their circumstance. They have to either remove themselves and or silence themselves. These coping mechanisms are what hinder or help your situation.
Yeah.
And for instance, in someone in an abusive relationship, a physical one and or an emotional, right? I'm probably my own worst nightmare. However, I've seen patterns even in myself. I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with a tumultuous human being. I don't know where he's going to be, but I've learned every single behavior, trigger. I know everything and I've prepared myself so that I can protect myself where need be, right? So I go, I'm going to push. Oh, fuck you. I've prepared myself enough to know what I need to do in that circumstance. So these people can adopt themselves and become chameleons. Another personality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? These things are I can empathize so well with it. Doesn't mean I have it, but I have that trait just like everybody else. Do you understand?
I'm going to ask a question. I'll go to Nick first, and I'll go to both of yous. Mm-hmm. All these situations that we've been in, yeah, we've either taken shit on or just adapted to a situation in order to and we keep internalizing our own grievances to accommodate for the greater scenario, the greater status quo. Do you reckon the other individuals in the room have done the same thing for us? I'll ask Nick first.
Nick.
Picture your house. Yeah. Picture your home scenario or wherever most
You've
of your anxiety would issue from. Yeah. Do you reckon everyone else involved would have done the same thing for you? Nah. I think about it.
Straight out, no.
Straight out, no. I think about mine. It's like, no.
And for me, I used to keep everything in.
Yeah.
So that's where my anxiety came from. And rage. Like, I know what you're talking. I used to get into the backyard and punch the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
And hang
like
on.
legit. Yeah.
This is a question, Nick. This is a question. Why did you keep it all in?
Because I thought that was for the greater good.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? What was the greater good?
Just to keep the peace.
And why was it good for you to keep the peace?
Because I would have had everyone brawling.
Yeah.
If I opened up my mouth...
You couldn't deal with that.
Yeah, there's other shit to deal with.
So what I'd do is I'd go outside.
That was hard to deal with.
Yeah,
right?
But after a while, when I'd get angry like every day, like rage, like
I think what I'm trying to say is your protection when we ask why, the fundamental is self-preservation. That's like it's to preserve thyself.
Yeah.
As protection.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just get unhinged and
right.
it'll be over.
Yeah. So your coping was to fucking every day get angry and hit the fence, yeah?
Pretty much.
Right. Then
that's where my smoking came in as well.
Cigarra.
So
probably
when did that coping change?
Probably I started to change a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was probably at my lowest point when I left for Afghanistan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said,
was that start of 2010?
Yeah.
You left when I got back, yeah?
Yeah, I left in March 2010.
Yeah, I literally got back from Europe in 2010, literally got back, and then this guy was gone like a week and a half later. Like, I hadn't seen him for three and a half months.
And you guys are pretty simpatico and almost each other's kind of rocks without being...
Yeah, like, if I'm having a shit day, I'll tell him. I'll just be like, man, this is what's happening. Like,
so that's kind of crazy.
I took off the night before Marzia's 21st.
Oh, wow.
You remember that?
Shit, yeah, I remember I had a fringe and short hair.
Yeah. That girl.
Yeah,
that girl.
Yeah, I literally announced it to that whole crew that night.
Okay.
And then I flew out 24 hours later.
Yeah.
And then I got back just like a day early before Mona's 21st.
Okay.
And then this guy took off like a week later.
I was probably at my lowest then.
And so did you decide to go away you needed it?
I took that job knowing that if I wasn't to come back, I didn't care.
Right.
Legit. I went to a war zone. I legit went to a war zone for
Wow.
6 months.
Yeah.
And I said, I
Should I go get Alex? He's
Where is he?
downstairs. I'll go
Is
get
he?
him.
Was that self-sabotage, in a way?
in a way. Anyway, but I sort
Or
of
you're
thought,
just like, fuck you, I'm, like, that's it, I need a change.
I just had enough of everything.
I'm fucking done.
Everything
Yeah.
was so the same.
Right.
Everything was so mundane.
I'm feeling
Everything
you.
was, and who in their right mind, like I wasn't a soldier. I just took that job.
No, I know.
And
I get it.
Within
I can
4
see-
weeks, I took
yeah.
off. It was gone.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
Yeah.
where is he? Why?
Yeah.
And I pretty much, to myself,
Yeah.
I said, I was kind of like mentally prepared myself. As in, if I was to stay here
Yeah.
and something would happen,
Yeah.
okay. Like, legit, that's where my mind was.
Yeah. I
But it
get
actually helped me get out of here for 6 months.
And sort of,
and
like,
actually explain to
detour
him.
your,
Yeah.
where you were focusing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the best thing was, I actually said to Dim, I go, this is as strange as this might sound.
Mm.
I went into a war zone, the most dangerous place on earth at that time, but I got my peace.
Yeah, fucking amazing.
Like,
I
there was
understand
guns,
that. I get
planes,
it.
fucking everything, but I got my peace and quiet.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking poetry in motion right
Yeah.
there. Like, that's amazing. How long were you over there?
6 months.
And what happened that you decided to come back? Like, were you like, okay, I'm done here, I've had enough, let me try?
No, I was going to go back, but we had some family issues.
Oh.
So
So that's what brought you back. Hey!
What's going on, Mungo?
You look so tan. And curly.
He's got the waves going on, and he's got the.
hair going on.
Away. Son.
Hate you.
How was the weather?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
He's back in his Michelin Man costume now.
Pretty damn
So you come back here and you're like, fag.
the pasty.
Yeah.
Pasty wogs.
Tasty wogs.
Love learning that part of you, Nick.
Yeah.
It's like,
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You're so, I guess we never get to get like that deep with you.
Yeah. I'm a pretty deep guy.
He's a pretty complex man.
Yeah, I get pretty
How did you
deep.
say that without laughing, man?
Pretty deep. But like I was saying to Dim, like I was telling Aurora, like for the first time in my life, like even though I was in a war zone, I got my peace and quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was commotion everywhere, but in my head, I was like, this is great.
I like that.
I was away from everything.
You know when I got my first peace of mind? When I left for Europe, yeah? Because like to go to Europe, I like quit my job, sold the funds up, I booked the flight.
You pretty much just
and I was out of here in like 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
And this is like indefinite. Like,
No,
Oh,
I
he
get-
gone.
I'm gone, man.
Gone.
I love that. I love that courage. I love that bravery.
Man, I was on the plane, and as it was taking off, I looked at my mate, like, my luck, we're going to Cyprus today. He's like, yeah. And I was like losing it. I had the laptop out. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're flying towards Singapore or whatever. I think we had a layover in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. And I got the laptop open, I had my headphones on, and I was just working on like a tune as I was on the plane. I thought, man, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Like working on fucking music on a plane. I feel like I'm like, Tiesto right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to Cyprus. I did not sleep. I slept for a bit on the plane. Like I passed out a bit, but not much. And I was listening to that.
tablet and
No. Dude, I sleep like a baby on a plane, man.
Oh my gosh.
But I was just amped. We got to Cyprus. We get to this bumfuck village in the middle of nowhere. I literally slept for like 17 hours, 15 hours. Like we'd wake up, I'd go like to the bathroom, come back, sleep. Like I did that for like 15, 16, 17 hours straight. I woke up, and then I worked on a tune like immediately as soon as I woke up. I worked for like 10, 12 hours. I worked on a song, a trance track. And I've got 4 or 5 tracks that literally stapled all the way through like the 3.5 months while I was away. That was my peace and quiet.
Yeah.
No phone.
And connection.
No emails, nothing. Just sitting there in the middle of rural nowhere, just working on music.
That's
and just,
healing.
Yeah.
Just to be out of the war
Dude,
zone and
I
into
was-
creativity and into
I
your
used
own
to
sort of-
have this anxiety of, because like watching my old man and all that growing up, is like you can't let go of any job you have. You're fucked if you're
Yeah,
not working.
yeah.
But what about
Yeah.
this? What about that?
No,
and
it takes
dude, I'd be
bravery.
sitting at a
Well
train
done.
station in the middle of some country I've
Yeah.
never been to, where I don't speak the like Germany, man.
Do you know what though? And probably the happiest you've ever fucking
Oh,
been.
man, I had my
And
laptop.
felt and-
I had my fucking
yeah.
laptop with my
Yeah.
tunes, and I was just working on music the entire time. And I was just sitting there, just chilling, like in terminals. I loved it. It was the
Yeah.
best. And man, that was my first peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Now, after that, we got back. My next peace and quiet was when me and this guy was in New York. We're on that balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
On the rooftop.
On the rooftop. So I got back from Afghanistan, and then I go to this guy.
What do you mean?
Oh, you missed this deep.
You didn't know that he
convo.
went to Afghanistan,
We were-
Malacca?
You do a term in Afghanistan
Nah, not a
I was working there for 6 months.
with the army.
Well,
Americans.
for the army, yeah.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, man.
I had no idea.
It was great.
This is what I love,
Oh, dude,
hearing all this shit
and-
about Nick, like this deep.
Sorry,
I'm deep.
I know, I love
Yes, sorry, I just came in so
That's
late.
right,
But
man.
it. Hey, tits.
Yes. Salute it.
salute there.
Tanya.
So, just quickly, can you give me a bit of recap on why you were there and
Yeah, no,
what
I was
you were
telling
doing
the
there?
guys. Yeah, no, I was probably at my lowest ebb in my life. And I saw
mentally, yeah.
mentally and stuff, and jobs weren't happening for me. Just felt really shit. And I saw the job ad come up, applied for it,
We're talking about coping.
and
Coping.
I applied for it. Went for the interview and stuff. Went to Sydney, and then the guy called me back when I landed in Melbourne, and he's like, "You leave in 4 weeks." Great. I didn't even think about it, mate. I just
I love
organised
that.
the passport.
What were you doing there?
Logistics for the US Army. Yeah.
Was that
crazy.
interesting
Holy shit.
as
It was
a job
amazing.
anyway?
Amazing. I'd speak to this guy. We'd be on the phone. Like he'd be, or in text, he'd be working
I was
at his
working night
warehouse.
shifts, so they coincided with his
Yeah.
day shifts there.
Oh, but hey man, what are you doing? Like, texting him and stuff.
So what would that entail exactly? Logistics, like in terms of what? Like what?
So-
What would I do, man?
Yeah.
Just literally
Yeah.
supply chain management. But his was like security, the next level.
Yeah. So I did, first you started off with like food and, perishables and shit like that for the US Army. Then I got trained to do weaponry and stuff like that, but I had to get a US government clearance. So we're talking eye scans,
Oh,
everything,
wow.
everything was crazy,
Rectal
man.
thermometers.
That was crazy, man. It was
Where did you put the swab?
No, wait,
What
is
swab?
that...
walking funny and shit. Yeah, no, it was crazy, man. So then I did.
No.
Then we had our own
No,
base.
I'm so-
So we would be next to a base. Like
I wouldn't
our
put
base
past
was next to a
them,
US base.
like,
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So then I'd do like
Of course
security
they're gonna
convoy.
fucking examine
So
your
it'd be like
rectum.
when trucks would come in to our base, we would check for bombs and stuff.
All right.
Crazy stuff, man.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
That
man.
is so awesome.
I thought
Yeah.
you knew this,
That's
Malacca.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so we would check for bombs and stuff like that. Explosions went off outside our base, like legit stuff, man. Like there was, but like I was telling Aurora, I go at that part of my life, I prepared myself that if I wasn't going to come home, it wouldn't bother me. If you know what I mean?
Like, that's how much-
If something happened, I'd be like,
Yeah.
Do you want to remember?
Yeah.
Do you want?
Yeah,
I swear
what
to
did
God.
you say? You said you found the most
Oh,
peace.
so I was in
fucking wars.
I was in the most dangerous country in the world at that time, but I found my peace and quiet. Do you know what I mean? In my head.
Oh, amazing.
I was away from everything.
Man, you know what?
Yeah.
I still remember that, like crystal clear, Malacca, because I just got back from Europe, yeah? So I had like the grey hair and shit. It's when I went to Europe with Andy and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you had the Eurotrash thing
Yeah,
going
I
on.
had the Euro trade, like the
dear.
peroxide hair and the
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
beard and shit. I was pale because I was there for winter. But I remember sitting down with this guy for a beer, like when I got back, and he's like, Malak, I'm leaving for Afghanistan. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, got a job. I just applied
You're
on
like,
Seek.
no.
Yeah, I applied
Don't
on
leave
Seek.
me.
It's a
I'm
shock
like,
because
yeah, what do
Yeah.
you mean? He's like, yeah, I applied on Seek. They flew me up to Sydney. I had an interview.
Call
That
me
was
when I
it.
got back.
Call me. I'm gone. I'm like, Malacca, that's mad. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's sick.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
that's amazing.
literally, like for us at that point, man, like this is going back, what, 8 years? No,
8 years.
yeah, 8
2010.
years. 8 years, but for us to even have that,
Yeah.
even think of like an
I'll show you some
opportunity
photos
like
later.
that,
Yeah, dude.
to think that someone would pay us to fly us interstate just to meet us and then offer us money to do something was like unheard of, like
Right.
fucking unheard of.
And just the experience of getting into Afghanistan, the country itself, was
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like, they flew me to Dubai, and then for 10 days we're in Dubai doing training. Just some training, some tactical stuff, just in case something were to happen, blah, blah, blah. You could just protect yourself, and if you're going to go down, at least you can go down fighting.
Yeah, man.
kind of thing.
What was
You know?
your
Go for the
what
groin.
was your frame of mind even during the training? So like you're in Dubai,
Mm-hmm.
you've got this training. Are you like, shit, what the fuck have I done? Or
It's like, fuck yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
cool.
mad.
It got to me where I was like, I did the right thing, kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know?
okay.
But again, if anything would have happened,
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't going back there.
Yeah,
so thank
right.
God.
Right.
Kind of thing, you know? So, yeah.
Fearless,
got to Dubai,
really.
and then to get into the country, we got in illegally.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
okay.
to go to Kabul airport, you're a Westerner. It's not happening. So we flew a Russian cargo into Afghanistan. So strapped to the sides of the plane. And then I told you this story. And then like I thought, fuck man, this is awesome. And then we were flying and we were probably about 15 minutes from landing. And the guy on the radio is like, oh, you know, like a US Air Force plane comes across and goes, imminent threat, you can't land yet. And I'm like, great. I'm going to fucking die here in the sky. I haven't even landed yet. The guy's like, please don't land yet. We will give you clearance for when you can land. And you just hear this plane just take off. I'm like, cool, man. This is awesome. And there, you can't land normally like a normal plane because they've got RPGs off the mountains. Okay. So they will strike you.
Fuck.
So you either, the pilot has to be really experienced. So he either goes in circles to go down and then sort of try and sway. We're talking a Russian cargo. It's a fucking big thing. Or he nosedives and then lets the plane up.
Holy moly.
Dude, I'm telling you. Like, just, I haven't even landed yet. Wow. So this is just like the start, yeah? But the coolest moment was, I got off the plane, I had my sunnies on, my iPod in, and no shit, we landed at the US military base in Bagram. And there was all these like Hornets lined up, man, like Air Force. And I was listening to Highway to the Danger Zone, man. Dude, I fucking swear to God, I swear, at that time, I had it in my ear, I'm like,
Penny fucking logging.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't like, take my breath away.
No. This was the highway. It was the best. And there was another Aussie kid with me.
Yeah.
He was young. He would have been about 19, 20. He was from Queensland.
Yeah.
And he had like a bit of a fear in his eyes.
Wow.
'Cause he was the one that said, what the fuck am I doing?
like,
why did I do this? But I was like, I had a smile on my face and everything. But yeah, man, like that was the start of that journey, man.
That's
so that was
Incredible. And how long were you there for?
6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you knew this, man.
This is what this is me 10 minutes ago.
So you have an option. Like I could have flown back for 3 months, but I cashed in my holidays. Like, I'm not going back. Legit, I just said I'm not going back.
I'm not going to get taken out of
So they're
here.
like, you can go back home for 3 weeks.
What do you mean you cashed in your holidays?
So instead of going on holidays, they just pay you
oh, right.
to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever leave you worked up, they just gave it to you.
And how was the pay? Was it
Great.
straight pay?
Dude, I haven't seen any like that much money in my life.
Yeah.
Because you've nothing to spend on there.
Yeah.
Like you're in the middle of nowhere. They had
And also like the high risk job, I'm sure.
yeah, absolutely. You get danger pay and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But they had on the bases, you get like little like shops and things like that.
Yeah.
And you buy your toiletries, your smokes. Yeah, that was the priority.
Yeah.
$1 a pack, man. You leaned up. My lungs were black.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, you'd be struggling to spend $100 US there a month.
Wow.
Struggling. So everything went into the account, man. So then that's what
Amazing.
helped me pay. When I came back,
Yeah.
I go, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
When did you get back? It was right before your birthday.
September-ish. Yeah, September.
I started working
March.
in July.
I left September, yeah.
Because I went to, while he was there, I was struggling for work here. So I was working like any random job I could find, warehouses, midnight shit, whatever. And I was losing my mind. So then he got back and I just started working again. So then by September, October, when he got back, I just started clearing up some of my debts. And then by October-ish, we booked America.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah, by October we
just
booked
said,
our
"Fuck it,
June trip.
let's just go."
We said, fuck it, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And our peace of mind came...
But I'd gone to Greece before that.
Yeah, you'd come back and left
I
again.
didn't want to be here.
Yeah, I
So
get it.
I was like
I get it.
overseas, on and off for like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be here.
But that was part of your healing, and I can see how, like, you removed yourself from.
What were you healing from?
The
No,
war.
just me, myself, everything. Just
And
The
what we
complacency.
spoke about.
Yeah.
Dude, man,
Yeah.
I'm feeling that right now.
I was just going to say, Tits, how are you going with? Because I mean, you're wanting to like go and follow your dreams, and no, really.
And I just realised I haven't
was
seen this guy in like, fuck, when was the last time I saw you? Last
3 weeks
podcast
ago?
we did?
Yeah,
It's going to be a month.
a month ago, was it?
Yeah.
It has to be because
3
we
weeks
did,
ago.
no, because last week we did an episode with Johnny, and then the week before that we had it off, and then the week
Yes.
before that you guys were here.
Yeah, so 3 weeks.
Yeah, at least 3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
nearly a month, man. That's a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
I was going to say, on top of that, like, what was your family like in, you have to have a job and it has to be secure and yada, yada, yada. Like, did you have those limiting beliefs that you had to sort of grow out of and follow your dreams? Or it was always like, no, this is the avenue I want to take and whatever it looks like, and I'm good
Wait,
with.
who are you asking? Alex?
Kids.
Or, okay.
So,
For suckers.
so are you saying, what was I given a template by my parents?
Well, the opportunity.
Give it the
That you had
Yeah.
to sort of
Just strive towards.
but you yourself had to sort of untangle yourself out of and follow this dream that you love so much.
As in, did your parents say, you're going to be this, you're going to have to get a trade,
correct.
blah, 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 blah.
Correct,
nah.
like you
Yeah.
both, but
Yeah.
No.
No.
My parents were very supportive.
okay,
That makes
Very-
a big difference too.
Yeah.
a huge.
Like
Yeah.
a massive difference.
Yeah. Huge. They weren't typical, Greek parents in that regard. They were quite
Right.
progressive and
Yeah.
Sounded quite open. with
yeah.
you kind of thing,
They're not from. My
They
mum's-
always gave you like a
Very
bit of.
supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very supportive. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because my mum was born here,
Yeah.
know, and my papu, my grandfather was quite strict,
Right.
quite old school, but she was
Right.
quite, she's like
Defiant.
you and me, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
right.
rebellious and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And my dad was
fantastic.
from Athens. He was a city he was a street kid.
City
Yeah.
slicker.
Okay.
He was a street punk from Athens.
Yeah.
So
It's you know what's really weird, man? Because like my old man was from Athens as well, yeah. But he came here when he was in his teens, and it's really, really fucking strange because that trip that I took to Europe really opened a lot of things, answered a lot of questions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And when I came back, I had a different mentality, especially around my old man. I grew up with an idea that my old man had put forward about his upbringing. Like how his old man treated him, not his old man, his stepdad treated him, and the school of hard knocks and living fucking like all the shit he grew up with. Yeah, I know that him and his stepdad had a really shitty relationship, and he booted out of the house really young, but. He made it seem like he booted it out at like fucking 15 years old. When I found out, when I went to Greece on my own as an adult for the first time, and I had like his sister in front of me and such, I started asking a lot more questions. And then I found out that he actually left home a lot later than what he made it out to be. And then I'd get the background on his life in Melbourne when he first came here, and generally what he got up to at the expense of my grandmother and his stepfather and stuff. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like what my old man put forward. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
embellished.
So you actually
not just
questioned
embellished,
that it wasn't
like
the
outright
truth.
just admitted facts.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a second, man.
Right.
And I'm a
something
scumbag.
totally different.
Yeah, I'm a scumbag because I
Right.
got my hair dyed when I was
Right.
fucking like 18. What are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Okay.
Look at the shit you got up to. Have you
Yeah.
forgotten all this?
It's
Yeah.
typical Greek.
Typical, man. The
Greek
facts were
behaviour.
omitted, like hard. So then I came back like, fuck this, man. I got more cards to play now. Like, I'm going to do shit my way,
Correct.
And then I think about that now a lot as well. And I've thrown that card out, like, especially with, like, my, because my mum knows me. She knows she can't fuck around with me like that. Like, she knows what I'm capable of, and she knows I'm not an idiot. But anytime my mum would challenge me on something, and straight out, what's the one Greek line that our parents or grandparents say to us every time we complain?
Malaka.
No. Yeah, they're going to call us a wanker. Yeah. No. The one line
Pussy.
is...
You're 4 years old.
Tzatziki. Just random Greek words.
Moussaka. Yeah. The one...
Lukumades.
Is that kumare? What's that?
Lukumades.
What is that?
Greek donuts. Best.
Yeah.
Dude, game over, man. Oh.
Lukumades are the best.
Over. Oh, dude, haven't you had them?
I'm getting
St.
those.
Jerry's in Oakley.
I'm getting them for Eli's birthday.
St.
Are you
Jerry's.
serious?
Dude,
That's mad.
I'm going to Greek it up
That's mad.
for Eli's birthday.
Yeah.
I'm getting them to come to the...
Yeah, that's mad. That's actually good. I haven't spoken to you about that yet.
We're in the works.
There's conversation happening.
There's conversations.
Yeah, there's going to be a meeting. Dude, the one thing our parents would always say every time we'd bitch about something in life, like whatever it was, our job, being tired, whatever, our parents would always say, or our grandparents would say, if I had the chances and opportunities you have, if I had your youth, I'd be doing I'd do a million things.
Lies.
And I turned around to the old lady. This is years ago, and I said, really? I go, at 27, did you have a mortgage and work full time while trying to run a business? That's what I said to her. Living on your own. And she just went quiet. It's like, I didn't have the option. She goes, no. I go, granted, you didn't have the opportunity. But they talk to me about, you know what my stress levels are like.
Listen, old lady.
I go, I give you
Listen, mate.
credit. I give you credit when credit's
It sounds
due.
healthy. Dismiss you, you dismiss me.
Everyone feels acknowledged.
I recognise, dude, every fucking person here would have heard it from their parents or their grandparents. When I was your age, I had to walk 30 kilometres to school in the snow. When
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
had
did
to
hear that. I
slay
did
a
hear
calf
that.
on the way home and then cook dinner for my 18 cousins.
Yeah.
What are you talking
We all
about,
slept
man?
in like a room the size of a toilet. Dude, all on top of each other. I did it all.
It's a bit in Raw. We had to eat the toy, Daddy.
we had 2 pairs of socks for 30 kids. Literally. They make it out like they slept through the blizzard of 1837.
God.
It's like, get fucked, man. I know where you grew up. You grew up in Keysborough. You know, like, I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
that, and once I started putting that into the process, like, really a long time ago, and my mum stops like that now. She knows like, she knows that I've worked my balls off to just survive.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't give me any grief for that, like, at all. If I say to her, I'm tired,
Your
she's
mum
like,
seems quite supportive.
if I tell her I'm tired, she's like, you need a rest. If I tell her I'm going to the gym, she's like, why? Like, you're exhausted. I'm like, no, I have to go. You know, like, shit like that.
I used to go to my nonna, like, visit my nonna after work, and she was like, oh, do you work today? I said, yeah, no. She's like, oh, povera, like, you know, which is in Italian, like, poor thing. Like, I'm just like, mate, it's fine.
Mate.
No, but, you know, like, because in their day and age, it's like, they thought of work, like, so hard. Like what they
Manual
were doing.
labour kind of.
Yeah, what they were doing, in my opinion, was work. Like, a lot of the women held a lot of, like, they worked 24/7, not just 8 hours a day or whatever, you know? Because it came easier to them, they saw something like opposite to that as like, what the fuck? Because it wasn't something they were used
But
to.
you know what, man?
So I can understand why they thought that, but
I have to say this, man. This is the common response. If you're a male and you're talking about how you need to do something maybe domesticated, or if you're a woman talking about how you have to go to work, they'll flip it. They'll be like, you need to find yourself a man to cover the
I know, isn't
the
it?
car
Yeah,
payment.
right.
Or, you know, you need to find yourself a woman to
Right.
clean the house. Like, dude, what are you serious? Like, nah, man.
I know how to use a broom, man. It's all good.
Dude, like,
That's
literally,
right.
There's that polarity, man. You know, and we've said this on the podcast before. I say it all the time. Like, you know, you tell the old farts when you tell them about the stress, and they start going, "You don't know what stress is. We literally had to work from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m." Like, what? Like, that makes sense. They make it out because they think you're stupid. They don't actually think. Anyone that's older than us doesn't actually think we work. They don't think we physically work, we have responsibilities. It's just the way it is, especially if you don't have kids.
Yeah.
I reckon
it comes down to entitlement.
I reckon,
though. Like, I think
I'll be 100% honest, man. I reckon a lot of the fucking, a lot of the mojo and a lot of the monkeys got off this guy's back when he got married and had a kid.
It was.
Literally, because that's the only thing they see as, that could stress
Like
you
an
out.
achievement, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's he's stressed. He's leaving.
Yeah, he's stressed. We gave him his scout badge, for knitting and crochet.
Yeah.
And now he's legitimately tired. He has
Do you
a
know
wife
what's
and a
funny?
child.
Like, I think I'm the type of person that's going to have kids, and I'll be like, I'm free! Like, really? And people are going to be like, oh, poor thing, and, like,
No.
give me exactly what
That's
I fucking need
exactly
now.
what I said to Din. Because, you know why? Because when I got married...
When I have kids, it's going to be the best fucking time of my life.
Because when I got married and when I had my son, the first time in my life, I was like, this is my family. You don't like it?
right.
Fuck off. And a lot of my pressure,
So you
I didn't have to
grew
hear
the
it.
balls, Nick.
I didn't have to hear it. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah.
have to hear it because this is not your family now.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
My family.
Right.
You know, like-
Right.
Consider what's stress, right, and what's achievement, especially the wogs. Like, they're the worst, right? Dude,
Wogs are kind of bashing today, man.
I know. Fuck you, Wogs.
I'm not disregarding what we all, or our lives individually, but let's just
Except
take
everyone
Alex's
at the table.
average week, yeah? I could call the guy up to say, come for coffee, and he'd be like, man, I'm fucked. I just got back from, like, a rehearsal. I've got to get up tomorrow. I'm flying to Brisbane for something to shoot, and then I'm flying back. I've got to memorize lines for a fucking play that I'm in, and then I'm doing an acting class in the evening, and then blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm putting it all together like, Jesus, what's this itinerary like, man? But you explain that to a wog, and you tell him, such and such is an actor, or whatever. It's like, nah, yeah, right. It's like, take a look at your cousin,
That's ignorance.
Yanni.
That's
He
ignorance.
works at Datsun,
Yeah, right.
he's a pipe fitter. He works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's a job. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, have some respect for the dude that hasn't got a 9 to 5 and doesn't have security and doesn't have all these
He's
shit.
still hauling ass.
Yeah, he's hauling ass every fucking day, any gig he can get.
Because he's still got to eat.
Yeah, do you know
That's
what
the
I
thing.
mean?
People don't
Yeah.
realise
And
that shit,
that's what
man.
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it just shits me. It fucking shits me. Like, my sister got away with a lot. Like, the day my nephew
can't.
would have been,
When you
like
bring her
a
up,
week
I
old,
can't.
2 weeks old, and my mum was asking me a question about something, and I said, why don't you ask, my sister about it? And she's like, oh, she's got the baby now, la, la, la. I'm like, is that how it is? Okay, she's had a kid. Okay, now she's,
That should breed more
Exempt.
empathy,
She's
more
exempt.
fucking compassion from a person,
Yeah.
more fucking, like, will to do better in the fucking world.
But that's what happens,
I
man.
hate it.
So you hear about these women that don't go back to work ever, and not because they're not allowed to, but because they choose not to, because they take having children as the
Entitlement.
crutch,
Entitlement, dude.
the unholy crutch.
Thank you, that's what I just meant
It's like,
2
I don't
minutes
have to
ago.
now. I've had a child.
Entitlement.
You don't know what birth is like.
Yeah.
Do you know,
I want to stay at home.
Dude, there are women in Africa that have 4 kids hanging
you
off a
know-
wall, carrying
Dude,
a glass
what's
of water on
going
their
on? I was
head.
going to say, Harry,
They're dropping them as they go to the well.
The conversation that I have with these mothers, right, that pull that card out, it goes like this. You need to start taking responsibility for everything you haven't taken responsibility for in your life. This is a response. You'll understand when you have kids. I'm just like, my brain seizing. I'm like, hang on a moment.
You're triggered.
That's not even
your eyes.
part of, wait, that's not even part of our fucking conversation. There's no reason. Like, you'll understand when you have kids. What is that, a throwaway line? You know what I said
it
to
is.
that? I said, what I do understand is you've had the children, yet you have less compassion, less empathy for people, and that's what you're showing, and less reason. I really fucking feel sorry for your children.
Don't you talk about my child.
My drop.
I wish I could have said hashtag my job before I fucking hung up. Fuck you.
Gotta get it up, man.
Fucking wanker.
We need a little donkey thing in here, man. Just say it next to me. Little zany one-liners.
Oh, yeah.
You're fucking brutal, man.
Nah, mate. I've got
Got the wine. She's got the wine.
the wine. No,
Look out,
mate.
I've already had 2.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's been a bottle. You've missed out, but this week's been nasty.
You've had a big one.
Huge one. How has your week been?
Yeah, mate. How you been?
Yes,
I've been well, man. I've been kicking it up in Brizzy.
I know,
Vegas?
I see the Insta stories. I see
Vegas.
the nice weather.
Yeah. Having a good old time. Yeah, no, it's been awesome, man.
Yeah.
I had just an amazing time on this series that I'm shooting up there, and
I can't wait to see it.
it's going to be great, man. I hopefully,
Hopefully it progresses and...
Well, man, hopefully there's a lot of buzz around. I'm sure there will be because they're really, I think they're really going to pump it.
Yeah.
So,
It's Netflix, man. Like they sort of.
I mean, it's a great platform to be on
You're
if you're
sort of
going to...
obligated to fucking do it. It's Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a channel. It's a fucking Channel 2 production at 1 a.m. You know, it's Netflix. It's national.
Exactly. So, it's exciting. It's
I didn't see you at the
super
Logies,
exciting.
We will.
I was not at the Logies.
I'll never forget, dude.
Oh, no.
No. It was the night his Underbelly premiered, and we watched it at his house.
Oh, right.
And he had that scene, where the coppers rock up to Chopper's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember
And
that.
You all like
scene.
search everything and like.
Oh, yeah.
Because you find a gun or something. Is
Yeah,
that
we
the one?
we're searching his place for
Yeah,
weapons.
and you're doing. It's right towards the end of the commercial. Before you get the commercial break, and he's got this full-on death stare. Like there's.
When we arrest him.
Yeah. No. It wasn't when you arrested him. It was when you rocked up to the house, and you got this cocky grin, or you're asking questions, and then I think the other copper interacts with Chop, and then you don't say anything. You just like gave this look, and the camera cut to your pose.
I know the part you're
Yeah.
talking. That's the end of the episode when we arrest him at the casino.
Yeah. And I turned around. And this guy, because I was in front, I'm just going, I smell a Logie. He just
That's right, because we had the screening at my house.
That look.
We had the screening at my house. That's right, and
Aw, that's really nice.
it was great because it was like it was a really good shot as well because it was a real close up.
Smell a leg.
And they arrest him at the at the casino, and it's all in slow mo, and then they got this. It's some sick like soundtrack in the background with like some electric guitars, some some 80s. And as it's going off, they cut to my face, and I'm just fucking just eyeballing, just staring him down. It's like crazy, really, really good.
What do you think? Job done.
Yeah.
Lock him up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Put him away.
Hey, that's my line. Sorry, boss.
And then I walk off, and then I look back and go,
And throw away the key. Did anyone who got nominated from that thing? Did you watch the Logies, by the way? I'm sorry.
Aaron did.
No, I
Aaron
didn't.
did he? For Chopper.
I saw
for
it.
playing Chopper.
He was great.
He was, yeah.
I
He
thought
was
he did
great.
No,
It's so hard to
Yeah.
come off the back of a role that's been so iconically performed.
And done
Make
before.
and done before, and to make it your own, man.
I liked it because he made it his own, and B, he was dealing with a different side of what, say, Banner did in Chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a totally different story.
It was a
man.
different
like,
story.
You can't fucking play. You're not going to play the same character the same way. Like it doesn't work.
Exactly,
like that, man.
exactly. No, man, he was great, and he was amazing.
He was great.
He was amazing to work with as well.
Like,
He's an
Yeah.
amazing.
See what fucking Bert- was it Bert
so
Newton?
generous and just.
Didn't he say something really bad
real-
for Logies?
Great, like just led the whole team.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you find a lot of
I've
people
gotta
that you
find
work
it.
with are like that, or is it rare? That they're humble and easy to work with, and
most people, in my experience, most people have been great, and and different levels of great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sure when you get to Hollywood, not if, when,
Yeah, okay.
it'll be a bit different.
yeah,
Yeah, but
I
mean,
guess
look,
with
I'm counting on the day that he gets there.
Of course, there is, man.
Yeah.
You do come across, egomaniacs
Yeah.
and divas and this
Yeah.
and that.
Of course.
There's always going to be that,
Yeah.
I've had my share as well of difficult people to work
Yeah.
with, but that's.
You
It comes
learn.
with the
I know.
You learn.
It
Yeah.
comes with the
Part and
territory.
I just found it. I just
Oh,
remember
Bert
what it
Newton's
was.
speech
Bert
at,
Newton's speech. This annoyed
at the Logies.
this fucking-
Logies.
Right, I heard
This
that.
annoyed the shit out of me.
What was it? I didn't
He's
even know.
he's come out, and he was he took to the stage, the TV veteran
Come
took
out.
to the stage
Veteran.
to present
Born
the,
on stage.
the Graham Kennedy Award for Most Popular New Talent. During his speech, Newton spoke about his own lengthy career, and while the speech earned him a standing ovation, a few moments caused offence. Newton stated that young Australians might see him on their TV screens and ask, "Where has this old poof come from?"
Is that what he said?
About
He said-
himself.
Yeah, where has this old poof come from? And then, while talking about his late friend Graham Kennedy,
Is he gay?
no.
Isn't Bert Newton gay?
Yeah, I know
No, he's
he's
married to Patty Newton.
but he might be gay.
His son beat up the Neighbours actress.
Yeah.
That Brooke
Covered that
Satchwell.
extensively on
Yeah,
the
Brooke,
podcast. I
we've
love it.
referenced Newton a lot.
Yeah. Dude, he was talking about Graham Kennedy, who was
that's
gay.
not really-
Yeah. He enjoyed giving young people a chance on television. He was a great mentor. He mentored a lot of young people. You knew if you went to his dressing room, it was locked. He'll be inside doing some mentoring. Viewers took to Twitter to slam Newton for his homophobic statements and Harvey Weinstein-inspired jokes about mentoring. That really annoyed me, yeah? Because anyone else making those fucking jokes or comments, dude, their fucking careers would have been torn to shreds.
Yeah, but he's-
Like, we've never heard of this cunt before.
He's almost at the end
literally.
of his tether. He doesn't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
He doesn't care. I know why
He
he
doesn't
did it, because
care.
he's a senile old man.
Yeah.
But
That's a
his
bit
comments were
offensive.
slammed. Has anyone heard about it? No. Dude, Kevin Spacey tried to wine and dine some underage kid like 30 years ago. They literally removed him from a movie that was already in post-production.
That's right. Yeah.
Did you hear about the Roseanne thing as well?
Yeah, that was a joke. She's a
I just
fucking
think-
nut job.
What did she say?
But
What?
then she came up on, who was it? The one that has a podcast that we all listen to.
Joe Rogan.
Yep. And said, that she was on Ambien or she was on something.
She was on Ambien, and then the producers of Ambien came out and they said, a side effect of our drug is not racism. Dude, it's a joke. She's made racist fucking remarks for decades, and no one's... Unchecked.
See, I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, but because now the whole movement thing happening.
Like,
However, I just felt so sorry for
fuck her. She
I don't
made
know,
those
I
statements,
just
man.
You know what I feel sorry
I was like,
for?
shit.
The other actors that are on that production.
Yeah, all
Dan
of that
Goodman
as
and
well.
all those
they
guys.
fucked.
Yeah.
Because now they've lost their job. They're like, you
for
mother...
sure.
You bitch!
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, dude.
You know
Bert
what I mean?
Newton, who's like a TV god,
he makes these comments, and but people were angered.
Relax, they blinked an eye.
That's it. It's never been mentioned ever again.
Do you know what that says, though? That says that he holds a lot of power.
Of course he
a lot
does.
of money and a lot of investment in something. They don't want to fuck up. That's all that
I reckon
says.
Paddy was in there going, "Oh, Bert."
Yeah, bad.
Well, yeah.
That's a fucking
You know what I
gaff
mean?
and a half, man, and people have lost their careers over less.
Who was it? Ray Martin that said on
Ray.
the Christmas Carol. What is it that happens every year?
Carols by Candlelight.
Carols by Candlelight. He
Why do I know all
hosted
this
it, and he said no, because I used to go.
I've turned
like,
into
I
a
used to-
60-year-old.
And he actually said, like, people were hugging or doing something on stage.
Yeah.
And he was like, I fucking laughed. Oh my God, me and my brother, Raph.
Yeah.
He was like, I said a hug, not an orgy. He fucking said that and he was fired.
What? It's a kids show, man. Carols by Candlelight, dude.
Ray Martin said that.
Maybe he was on some prescription.
Go look it up on YouTube. Fact checker.
That's mad.
He said
I didn't know that.
Yes, he said it and he was fucking fired. You never saw him again on Channel 9. That's Ray Martin. He's also iconic, which
I thought
means
I've
he
seen
doesn't
him
have
on
an
TV.
investment. He doesn't have the power.
Hasn't he been on TV? Like, as in,
No, but not like he
not on
used
Channel
to.
9?
No.
Really? A hug, not an orgy. What's wrong with that?
I said a hug, not an orgy.
Yeah, what's that?
Kids are awake. They haven't gone to sleep. Santa's coming.
Get real, dude.
This is why they fired him.
Come on, man.
I know.
Are you serious?
And it's not even like poof. I'd say that's more.
This is my take on all that. You got to take it into context, right? This is
Exactly.
This is Bert Newton. This is a guy.
Context is a great word.
This guy comes from like the 50s, in Australian television.
Yeah.
Right, and he was like good buddies with Graham Kennedy as well. They were like
Best mates.
yeah, man.
Best
they-
mates, yeah.
They were best mates. So when he makes a joke like that, it's very tongue in cheek. It's in jest. Do you know what I mean? And
It's
then you
like,
get
yes,
the fucking.
it might not be appropriate,
You
but
get the PC
in
police
jest.
fucking jumping
Exactly.
on it and,
Thank you.
and
See,
calling him
I
all
thought
these
it was
fucking.
ridiculous.
Normally, I'd be okay
I
with
love
that,
Ray
right?
Martin.
Normally, I would be okay with that. But what this is taking the context, right? He's been paid fucking squillions to do jack shit for like the last 10, 15 years, right? He's been literally just a ghost of Christmas past floating through TV.
Investment.
Yeah, investment. He's had
This is
he's had the
why-
pull to
Yeah.
have his son, who literally beat the shit out of women, beat the shit out of like a
Well, one
cashier at a
woman that we
hotel.
know of.
Huh?
One woman that we know of.
No.
Right?
Dig deeper.
Really?
Dude, he was overseas in Hawaii, and he punched the shit out of a hotel clerk. No, not Hawaii, sorry, Florida.
Who was this?
Matthew Newton.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Loose unit,
He
man.
lost his shit and punched the fuck out of a cashier in Miami or something, somewhere in Florida hotel, because like his TV wasn't working. I can't remember what it was.
That's a normal
It was like-
response.
And that's two, I get it, but that's two isolated incidents.
Two isolated incidences. Dude, the guy's fallen off the wagon how many times he's fucking been charged.
I don't know,
with,
so
he's
I'm
been
just-
charged with
tell me
assault time and time again, and he keeps getting TV gigs.
Yeah,
right?
I haven't seen him on.
Oh, look,
Because
Yeah,
Daddy,
I haven't either.
yeah, because
Daddy's got power.
He bit off more than he could chew, and
Right.
the only thing they could do was even Bert Newton dissed himself at one point.
It's like, hey,
He was
look,
like,
man.
dude, I can't keep bailing you out.
Yeah.
But Daddy had that much pull, we just paid for everything to just disappear.
Yeah, right.
Where I wrote an article about it back like 10 years ago when it was relevant. How Farnsey's fucking manager, Glenn Wheatley, whatever his name was.
Glenn Wheatley.
Dude, he got done for tax evasion. Like, he failed to lodge taxes for like 2 or
Didn't
3
he die?
years. No, he's not dead.
Sure.
Yeah. And, dude, he went to jail. He went to jail for tax evasion
Yeah.
of like, a couple 100,000 or something. Matthew Newton beat the shit out of people on camera, and he didn't get anything. Anything. Because of Daddy fucking Mac. What shits me is, normally I would say, yeah, in the context of it, he's an old fart. He's from that era.
And yeah, he uses the word
get it.
poof. Like
I
no one
get it.
uses the word poof anymore except for old dudes like that.
Yeah, I get it. But in the same thing, it's like, wait a second, man. You just televised this shit on free to air, right, on a red carpet, and no one is saying anything. No one. No one is saying anything. But if we said it,
Well, they did say something. There was a backlash.
it was on Twitter, man, and nothing happened. He didn't have to give a donation to, like, the LGBT community for, $60,000 and digress. He-
Why? I'd be pissed off if he had to do
Hogan,
that.
Hulk Hogan.
Insane.
Here's some breaking fucking news. Hulk Hogan literally just got reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Like today, literally. He was famously kicked out. Like Hulk Hogan built professional wrestling, modern day professional wrestling. He's the granddaddy of
is.
professional wrestling, right? We remember him as kids, and he
Yeah.
pulled it all, even to now when he's like in his late 60s, he's still fucking wrestling, yeah? Dude, they literally scrapped him. They pulled his name out of the record books. They pulled all his material off the WWE network because he used the N-word in private in his house in
Oh,
a private
fuck
conversation that was
Makes me
recorded.
angry.
Because he used it in regards to his daughter dating someone, and he was saying how, I can't remember the exact comments. They weren't the nicest comments in the world.
Right.
But this was a private conversation. They literally they've tarred and feathered him.
I'm sure in context it was probably influenced by this guy's behaviour. Do you know what I mean? Not the fact that he was black.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Whatever,
That he just
I
said
can
nigger.
find,
And it was something to do with him being drunk or with alcohol.
I can't remember,
Okay.
man.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
I'll find that. Like, as in, what shits me is he was tarred and feathered for a conversation in his own house to the point where they literally tore him down. He doesn't exist anymore. And he only got back in because the WWE suspended him for 3 years. 3 years, right? And he made note of the fact that he went to like black awareness rallies, and he joined like a scout sort of thing, but like for minority groups and shit like that. And he actively gives talks about how he's learnt from this experience and how he's changed and addressed.
You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah. Says, say your prayers and take your vitamins, brother. When I wrap these 20-inch pythons around his neck. No.
What was that movie that he was in with Nick Nolte?
No, it wasn't in the movie.
Was it Nick Nolte?
It was in that.
No.
Well, it was in heaps of movies.
No, that movie. It was like
find it for you,
it was a
isn't it?
famous one where he plays the he's like an action figure or something. It comes to life. Is that it?
not Suburban Commando.
Oh, maybe it's that.
He was in heaps. That Mr. Nanny, whatever. He was
I think
in
it's
that,
maybe my
that
mum
other
is-
wrestling one.
Suburban Commando.
Is that
Suburban
him?
Commando, yeah.
Me and the Bravo.
So, Nick Nolte's in it.
Well, I'll find out now.
Listen, before I get off track, I just want to say,
My
like,
memory serves
dude,
me.
this guy got fucking tarred and feathered for a private
Lloyd.
conversation in his own house.
That's
and
wrong.
The only way to get
Suburban Commando,
to make his
yeah.
penance was to donate heaps of money and serve time and make an active. Dude, Bert Newton is older than Hulk Hogan, but not that much older.
You know what?
Right,
You know what I
maybe 10
noticed?
years.
You know what I noticed
Dude,
about
Hulk
Bert
Hogan's
Newton?
64.
Yeah, how old's Bert Newton? 80?
90.
Tell me what you noticed about
You know what I
him.
noticed about when I was watching him at the Logies talking?
Oh, Bert Newton.
Yeah.
Did you? Hang on. So you watched the Logies?
79.
No, I saw bits and pieces. Like I was
Okay,
just,
I didn't.
I didn't really. No, I didn't.
79. So
He's 79.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
there's 14
when
years
when
difference.
I was looking at Bert Newton,
Wonder
I
if
was looking
Paddy's
at his head.
satisfied.
Yeah.
I was looking at his head, and I was like, man, he looks like
Here we
Darth Vader when you take the helmet off him.
go. He does. Yeah, he does.
Dude, I just had a picture.
I don't even know
does.
who that. Like, what's that?
Dude,
He had this like egg-shaped head.
dude.
Yeah. So look at that. Now get a photo of Darth Vader
Yeah, show me that because I don't know what that
when
looks like.
when he takes his helmet off.
No, yeah,
He kind of looks like a
Darth
really
Vader.
old RoboCop. You know?
Yeah. Dude, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They're only 14 years apart. Hogan had to serve a penance of 3 years. Bert Newton didn't even get a sniff. Not even a fart. after
Man,
the
we're
Logies.
talking about two
Dude,
different
Dude,
Very
you're
markets.
different.
fucking spot on.
Correct.
So hard, man. That is Bert fucking Newton to a T. Man, that is like, you can't get any, dude, you can
do a
not,
meme.
Dude, you cannot get any better than that.
Wow.
That at the Logies.
The Dark Force, man.
That's a meme.
what Darth Vader looks like.
Mentoring young boys.
Man, dude, like,
Yeah, man, that's him. That is actually him.
He looks like a head of a penis.
He's got a penis head.
I didn't say that.
I just need to draw a little fucking hole there.
I
sure
didn't
he's
say
got
any
one
of
there
that.
somewhere.
No, that was me. I take it.
Yeah, but anyway, fucking.
I take full
what was I saying?
responsibility.
Can't remember.
Nothing. You were talking about the context of.
No, I was just talking about. Look, I mean, yes, what you're saying is, I mean, you know, in
Two
terms
different
of
markets,
yes,
which I agree
it
with.
makes sense logically. What you're saying makes sense. However, when you take into consideration America and then Australia, then you go, well, okay, we got fucking and you know, the culture surrounding all that. I mean, it's you know,
Bert has
I mean,
more pull here than Hogan does.
what's going to
in his
happen?
country.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are they going to do here, really? But we're over there. It's kind of
Over there, they'll
crazy, man. Over there, it's crazy.
Chew you up and spit you out over there, man.
Fucking look at Louis C.K., man. I mean, like,
I actually really
he'll be back.
I loved his series.
Louis C.K. will be back.
I loved his series.
What's actually happened to him? I know that, like, I mean,
What has happened to him?
I don't know, but he'll be back. He's too good to fucking just
I
disappear.
love it.
yeah, but
I
so
think
was,
he's so
dude,
good.
everyone was too good to just disappear. Everyone was. Everyone who was. But
Do you know who's a great comedian? He's English.
Okay.
And he's fucking witty. Hang on.
Does this guy actually exist?
Yep. He wears a tux. He looks like he's got like the comb over and
Oh,
head of
that
hair.
guy. Yeah, he's got like that
And
old.
if you get a heckler in the audience, he
Yeah.
will
Oh, he's
damage
good.
him.
Yeah.
Jim.
Hang on.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a really short, snappy English
he
name.
makes me laugh. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, he's
What else?
good.
What is it, like
And
Jim
he
Smith?
rides-
No.
He
I know
rides a
who he is.
really fine line with all the things that are really offensive.
Hang on.
I love it.
yeah,
You know,
he's good.
pedophilia. He's always got jokes like
yeah.
around something.
Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr.
Yeah.
Phenomenal,
He's
man.
brutal.
I love him.
But that's
I
part of
love
the
watching him.
territory. Taking down comedians, comedians taking down hecklers. That's just part of the, like,
He's
you expect it, 'cause
intelligent.
there's always some clown that's going to go at
Yeah.
you.
But he's one that just like, without
he's
getting
super.
rolled up or whatever, it's just like,
Super quick.
You want to see
Yeah.
the best? Man, at one point I was really obsessed with like comedians taking down hecklers. There was one guy on the
Andrew
net.
Dice Clay.
Oh,
He
dude.
just fucking annihilates them.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
gotta watch it.
brutal. It's brutal. It's not even funny.
Okay,
It's
you know what?
It's
Actually,
sad.
it's just like,
Dude.
fucking hell, man.
I watch a lot of Rodney Dangerfield, man. I love
yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield. He's
Okay.
the best. Yeah, and he's from that era, like 60s, 70s, 80s, like real fucking vintage shit. And he started just taking himself down, right? Then you had that whole, coming from the 60s and 50s even, you had all the comedians that made it big.
fucking Don
Don Rickles.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Don Rickles.
He's the best.
He's the ultimate
Don
put-down.
Rickles is the best insult comic of
Ever.
all time.
Ever.
Yeah.
He literally is, man. I've
need
got
to watch
his
these
tribute.
people.
In his tribute night, he had the best of the best pull up to celebrate his career. He had, De Niro, you had, Scorsese.
Oh, cool.
You had Johnny Depp in the crowd, Jerry Seinfeld, Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Everyone was there, man.
'Cause he's a legend.
But here's the difference, yeah? Like, did you hear about what happened with can you think of Aussie comedians that would have teetered that sort of fence, that road? Can you think of any put-down comedians or comedians that used really profane sort of like language?
In the past or present?
Past. As in, not just
Australian.
language, not just like Jim Jeffries swearing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like actual attacking minorities or whatever. Because it came up in the news recently.
Steady Eddie.
Attacking minorities. Well,
Yeah, just as in using really crude humour.
Are you talking about Australians? Or
Yeah.
any comedian?
Rodney Roode.
Yep. Rodney Roode was one of them.
Rodney Roode be one.
What was that?
Kevin bloody fucking Wilson.
Kevin
Yeah?
bloody Wilson. Yeah,
There was an
Kevin bloody
article
Wilson.
I read it about a month or two ago. I was going to bring it up.
So Aussie.
Man.
Yeah.
Kevin bloody
Rodney Roode and Kevin bloody Wilson are the two of the most bogan ochre comedians from the 70s and 80s.
You guys have to write me a list because
You never heard of Rodney Roode?
You'll-
Trendsetters.
You will piss yourself laughing just
Yeah.
because of how bogan it is.
But this is the thing.
I never used to laugh like
Yeah, he did the senior citizen tour.
Yeah.
It started at Sandown near my house.
That's mad.
This is the thing,
Like
yeah?
pubs.
Dude, I grew up, probably from like my mid to late teens to my early 20s. I used to watch Rodney Roode every now and then, right?
is he still around?
Yeah, he's old. I remember him doing a tour like a year or two ago, so he's probably still floating around the RSLs. But here's the problem, right? Have you revisited their material as of late?
Oh, I could imagine.
Okay, they've come out in the not in the Me Too era. Let's not call it that because it's not Me Too related. But they've come out in today, right? And they're saying political correctness has ruined their chances to find work, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because they like it's everything's too uptight, blah blah blah.
So they can't say anything.
And there was an
Are you
editorial
serious
on
though?
it.
It's gonna become underground though.
This is the thing.
It is.
Go
Yeah.
the other way
It's
and
gonna
fucking
get-
people
Dude,
will go watch it.
This is the argument
Can't
to it.
stop
I
it.
read the editorial. Like, if you look it up, you'll find it, man. I read the editorial on it, and it's not that they're finding it hard because society's too uptight to let them get away with their material. It's that their material wasn't really any good to begin with, and it was just basing itself on really lowbrow, attacking minority, stereotypically racially motivated shit.
So it wasn't so smart or intelligent.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was smart and witty and people just aren't taking the context of it. It's just that it was really baseless to begin
yeah,
with.
right.
And dude, I was a fan of Rodney Roode when I was younger. Yeah, because you laugh at what's crude and you laugh at whatever's out
We
there.
didn't know any different.
Exactly.
We saw
I
what we
looked at
saw
the
and-
material now, and dude, I'm open to all types of comedy. I grew up watching
Right.
Richard Pryor. I grew up watching Eddie Murphy. George Carlin does the biggest bit about people using the N-word and how we don't get mad at Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy using the N-word because that's what they are. That no one takes it out of context. He goes, you can call me a white devil, honky, blah, 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 because I'm that. Like, what do you want me to say to you? It's the context of these words. And that's what I'm saying. I can recognize something that can be taken out of context. I can recognize the point of comedy. I make dude, last podcast, you guys went here. We made, in the last 40 seconds, we literally wrote Germans off. We wrote, who else did we write off? We wrote them all off based on stereotypes.
pretty much the whole of
I
Europe.
have to still listen to it, I've got to be honest.
No, dude.
Probably not the whole of Europe.
We
got
literally
done.
wrote off all of Europe with every stereotype you could ever imagine. Going back to the Holocaust, it was a joke. Like, I listened back to it.
It was
do you know what,
debauchery.
though?
It was debauchery.
Do you know when it's acceptable, though, or when people feel comfortable with it anyway, is when you can make fun of yourself and your own culture.
But that's the thing, dude.
So that's like, if a comedian starts off that way, then it's almost like, okay, now we're on board. Because the context is, I'm not racist, I'm making fun of every stereotypical.
This is the thing, yeah? I listened back to that last podcast and I was like, ugh. Like, I can't believe we actually got that far. And I apologize now in advance, yeah? It was just poking fun at stereotypes in history and la la la, but it wasn't.
But I'm sure now
it's
if we can
nothing-
go, hey, make fun of Greeks, you'd be able to
dude,
do it.
I'm all
in a
over
second.
it. We made fun of Greeks.
Oh, right.
We've spent
You would do it
hours
every
making
single
fun of
time.
Greeks.
Yeah.
Right? It was literally just it was just a joke, and I apologize in advance, right? But when I listened to the Rodney Rude material, he's literally just making gay jokes about homosexuals with stereotypes and just really, really crude, baseless shit. I probably found it funny when I was 14. I don't find it funny now.
right.
So it's like, you are a knob. Like,
So it's kind of like immature.
does that
humor.
make sense? And it's not because their material has progressed with the times. If that's a sign of the times, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But they're still pulling out the same material they pulled
it's
out
not funny.
And times have changed, mate.
30 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This
So
That's
it's
the
not
point.
in
But that's why he's doing
in
Sandown.
context.
It's like, mate,
That's
your
what he said,
material
Sandown,
doesn't
mate.
fme anymore.
Yeah.
I've got a question. What do you think of female comedians?
Generally?
Yeah.
Depends.
No, I'm looking at you.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I know you're going to have an opinion on
Just
it.
smirked at Jim.
I didn't say anything. I actually didn't say anything.
But what do you
There's
think
one
of it?
comedian
Like,
Jim
are
doesn't
there some
really-
that you enjoy? Are there?
There's also
do you have to
blocked
really
him.
think about it? What?
Yeah,
Say
what was the
that
name?
again?
What's her name?
Sarah Youssef.
Yeah.
Who?
Sarah Youssef.
Is this
She
an
was on
Australian
that,
one?
Here Come the Habib
Is
show.
this curly hair?
Yeah.
I think I know.
She's Lebo.
Like, she's not funny.
Is she the one that's sometimes on that show where...
Yeah, have you been paying attention?
Yes.
Yeah.
With curly hair?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
On that show, she's kind of funny.
She blocked you.
She blocked me like a year and a half ago.
What happened? You
Why?
added her?
No.
No. It was nothing bad. It was nothing
I
like.
follow a lot of fucking comedians, because I'm friends with a lot of comedians, you know, in Melbourne especially, right? So I went around, like, you know that girl that got killed, when was it, a little while ago? Eurydice,
Dixon.
I saw her perform like a year and a half ago, nearly 2 years
The
ago.
one that just died in Carlton.
Wow.
The one that died in
Dude,
Carlton.
I saw her
Really?
perform. I remember that night seeing her perform and thinking, I'm not finding this funny. I'm not connecting with it. But I'm not going to go out and buy 60 of her DVDs now because she's passed away. Like, due to a fucking disgusting act.
Yeah.
I support
Yeah,
the
that was
movement and I think it's horrendous.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pretend like I enjoyed her material when I didn't. Like, I'm just saying, this is a matter of opinion now. Right? I follow a lot of fucking comedians on social media.
What are some, say, female comedians that you do like
Okay, well, do you want me to tell you what happened with Susie Youssef, or which one do you want me to open first?
Well, I prefer you answer my question, but go ahead with your story.
Well, no, I got asked what I did. You both asked me what I did. I don't have to say it.
Wait, what did
Dude,
I ask?
I was following her on Insta. I'm pretty sure this was on Insta.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was following her on Instagram, and she put up a photo. I explained this on one of the when it happened. She put up a photo of her and her father, right? And it was a real 1980s shot. And her old man looks like just a wog, like, you know what I mean? Like dark, and
Yeah.
they've got the typical house in Reservoir sort of
Okay.
thing. Dude, and
Hungry,
Dude,
as
we
far
all
as the eye can
see that
see.
photo. You know those really washed out photos from the 80s? It
looks yellow.
Yeah.
There's probably like a red XD parked in the background somewhere. You know what I mean? Like those really brick veneer houses.
yeah.
And I made a comment and
Lions.
said,
Lions, eagles.
Dude, I literally... Exactly, you're all connecting to that stereotype, yeah? Because we all lived it.
Why am I making fun of myself?
Exactly. We all
Giant
fucking have a line.
gates.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I have 3 people in front of me,
The
and
people can get through. Like,
okay,
fucking
you're
hell.
all extending on the fucking joke, yeah? Like, you all see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
Concrete.
I commented on this photo, and I said something like, I can't remember exactly, but I said something like, I'm pretty sure every wog in Melbourne has that photo somewhere in there. I said something to that effect. She blocked me for that. Literally.
Is it like those fruit platters or those fish? Like,
Why?
fish
Why?
manga?
Why?
Why? Because you used the word wog?
I don't know. So I messaged her on Twitter, and I'm like, really? Like,
She thought that,
yeah, I'm like, hang on, man. Dude, I followed up. I'm like, what are you serious?
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Gotta look up her. I gotta look
So then I put up a post.
I follow her just on purpose.
So then I put up a
34
post
she's
saying
from Sydney.
apparently
Yeah.
only Susie Youssef has the wog rights to jokes now. You know what I
Did
mean?
you write that on Twitter?
Yeah, and Insta. Fuck oath, man. I'm going to call it out. It's a joke. Oh, what? You're the only one that can make a wog joke? And the funny part is,
Does she make them?
dude, her whole act was based about it.
What's
At the
wrong
same
with her?
time, she was on that show, Here Come the Habibs. A fucking clear shot at racial stereotypes. Like, see what I mean?
So
Yeah.
why
Did you ever see that?
I saw about 20 seconds. I'm like, this is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. It's sad. It's sad. And the fact that that Turkish comedian, what's his name? Tahir?
Yeah.
He was responsible for that show. And I actually liked Tahir's material.
Yeah.
I've seen him how many
Tahir's
times?
good. Yeah.
He was responsible for that. I'm like, dude,
Well,
really?
he wrote it.
Yeah.
Did he?
He contributed to it. It's such a joke, man. And that's the problem, man. A lot of these comedians, especially in Australia, you see it in America all the time. When there's a new show come out, pitched by some comedian, where their material doesn't translate to TV or movies.
Yeah, look, the thing is, I think,
No, but do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you're saying, and I think there is a place for that kind of comedy, for broad, ethnic comedy, whatever you want to call it. But you got to do it right.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it right, it falls on its face.
You know the whole...
And I'll give you an example. Fat Pizza, they did it right because. Man, you watch Fat Pizza, like, you know what you're going to get when you watch Fat Pizza. Or
they were the
Howzos,
first
you know what I mean?
people.
Like, you know what you're going to fucking get, right? You're just going to get the most craziest fucking shit.
Other than like Effie or like Acropolis Now or whatever, that was the show that sort of started.
But that was in the 80s.
But you know what pisses me
Yeah.
off? Like this whole tour now with
Nick Giannopoulos and
still doing the same shit. That whole wogs out of work. They're still doing it, and it's the same jokes just recycled.
Dude,
The whole for
there are
the new
It's not
generation.
in
It's like it's not
context.
funny.
there are no wogs out of work anymore, man, because all the wogs out of work back then, they went to uni or became tradies. Now they own 3 houses in Doncaster. Like it,
and run a
it
fish and
just-
chip shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah.
man.
Did anyone see Nick's show he did one recently. It was
Sushi Mango.
Sushi Mango?
No,
Dude, we went to school with Sushi. I refused
we went
to
to school
do
with
it.
them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's a joke.
So hang on, it's a show, guys.
It
That's
was
a
a
series.
theatre production.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do videos a lot on Facebook.
On Facebook.
I just can't get that, like him.
The first couple were like, that's pretty good. And then it's like, okay, dude. You
did it. Like you did.
Yeah, right.
You did what you're doing.
The first couple, when it first came out, I was like, good on them, man. Like, they're getting
Yeah,
out,
well
they're
done.
having a laugh.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Then after a while, it's like,
And what?
personally, I just don't.
Personally, yeah.
I just
Yeah, it's
don't.
just your personal
I
taste.
just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you, and something like Superwog as well. Have you seen?
Yeah,
that?
Superwog. Their first stuff was really good.
Did he sell out
Is
now?
that the
It's been
stuff on
commercials.
YouTube?
They've sold out. Like, dude, it's these two guys. And
They
they're-
started on YouTube, yeah?
Yeah.
And he plays that, like, the
There's two of them.
Aussie guy with the blonde wig a lot.
Yeah. They do
Oh,
all
I
the
don't look at them.
caricatures.
I think they're
They're
funny.
characters. But you know what I like about that, man?
That's
And this
funny.
is where I really split the difference between Superwog and then the Sushi Mango guys. Superwog, man, the guys that actually do it, the brothers, yeah, they're part Middle Eastern, part Greek. They've got a bit of a mix in them, right?
yeah.
And they never actually target one individual ethnicity or nationality. They just go for a generic cultural appropriation
Yeah.
of migrants and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they
And
sort
the
of
fact
do it
that they
broadly.
have the characters.
Yeah, and it's they
a
work.
bit of
They
more of a
develop
show
characters.
and-
It's not just baseless bullshit
We
jokes.
view it like a series.
Like, dude, my favorite one from Superwog, and that's the thing. Now this stuff is more produced. I haven't watched anything.
Well, they're doing
as of late.
commercials now for like
Yeah.
there's gaming apps.
Oh,
And didn't they?
okay.
They're on
just looks-
ABC
It's a
now. I
bit
think they're on
much.
ABC3.
Yeah, they got a TV
Or
show.
They're part of it. They're part of a
good on
show.
them.
They're part of a show that have got a whole bunch of different
Skits and stuff like that.
like YouTube sensation comedians,
Right.
and they put them all together on ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so-
good on them. Like I'll give like.
Oh man,
it's-
fucking
it's-
props, man! I hope
yeah,
they do
Yeah.
really,
absolutely,
really well.
man. Yeah.
Dude, this is my favourite one from Superwog, yeah. It's the one when they play soccer. It's a father and son, like, you know, teaching them how to play soccer and, like, part of the team. I fucking laughed, like, relentlessly in my own house over this at, like, 4 a.m. You have no idea, dude.
I can earn 10 bucks
Look at
a
this.
week. European League, bro.
He will earn 1 billion. We've run up and down. We've done the drills. Now I want you to go out there and have some fun. The opponents are your friends. You treat them with utter and utmost respect.
We will punish them. We will fuck them. We will destroy their entire existence.
And the best is the goal celebration. Standard.
I'm here.
Go away for it.
What the fuck are you doing? Excellent shot. Great technique. Go, you little idiot. Go. No. No. Are you the coach?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you've done a fantastic job. My name's Betty.
Oh, hi, I'm Barry. It's nice to meet you.
No. No.
Here it comes. This is the best.
Hey. Mate, it was the team that did it.
Dude, I can't. I've literally watched that over and over again. Just that bit. Just that bit, man.
I get it.
We'll put it up
It's
on
funny.
we'll put it up on Facey and stuff.
But that was the point, yeah? Like, for me, this is what separated them. The fact that they didn't target one minority, they just made it a broad caricature of, like, migrants. Dude, whether you're Albanian, Greek, Lebanese,
You can identify
you
with
can
that.
find something in that and go, yeah, man, that's my cousin or that's my
Yeah.
brother. Yeah, that's what my old man was like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, when I was
Right.
coaching a little bit at Oakley
Oh,
Cannons,
yeah, I remember that.
I coached a little bit NSL down in Oakley Cannons, and it's exactly like the WOG one.
Yeah.
Dude, we were on the sidelines, man, and we'd be yelling, like losing at veins.
Yeah, man.
And legit, it was like some team from like Frankston, but they're called the Pines or some
Yeah,
shit.
of course they were.
And they were like, "Come on, guys, we can do it." And we're like, "Fucking run, fucking just."
All right, let me ask you a question. Oh, sorry,
Yep.
go.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if you've seen Ali Wong.
Who?
Ali Wong.
No.
So she's an Asian comedian that's come up the ranks off of Netflix.
She American?
Yes. And she's got 2 specials on Netflix. You have to check it out.
Ali Wong.
And she's Asian, but she's like geared towards making fun of them and herself. But you know, like when you see female comedians like be crude and
Yeah. What's her
there's-
name?
For me, honestly, there's
the
something
blonde.
that I watch about that, and I'm just like, it's not funny.
That's
Like,
the point,
You know,
dude.
right? Amy Schumer, I can't stand.
Thank God,
I'm
a
so
woman that hates
sorry.
Amy Schumer.
I can't stand her.
A lot of women don't.
I can identify. She's recently done something with Oprah, like, you know, a little deeper, and for once, honestly, the first time, I'm like, oh my God, a glimpse into
What was it
your
called?
soul.
Deeper with Oprah?
No, Nick, it wasn't actually
On the
that.
couch.
It wasn't that cheesy.
Oh, was it
like-
an interview or anything, or
no,
was
it was an interview, but it
Yeah.
wasn't as cheesy as that,
Okay,
you know.
yeah. So it
And
was like-
I think she was actually very genuine for the first time, of sharing herself a little bit. But I think, like, when you get that crude, and I still don't know much about you, and I haven't connected to you, like, I'm just like, it's just shit. Like, all it is like, you know, a chubby girl going, look at me, and like,
Yeah.
yes, all that's commendable about there's like, great. Well done, you love yourself. But that's it. Move on.
But that's not
Like,
funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same- it's the
exactly.
same gag
If you're
over
like
and
saying
over
you're a
again.
comedian, like, I just don't understand. Like, whereas Ali Wong, can I just
No,
say
go.
though?
I'm going to find something, yeah.
So Amy Schumer, Ali Wong does the same sort of comedy, but Ali Wong does it right.
But is it
I am
because
in
she's Asian?
hysterics. No, like,
Is it
what
because
the fuck
Amy
is it?
Schumer's white?
No,
No.
no.
Do you know what I mean? Like, not putting
Amy
a racist
Schumer
thing
can
on it or anything.
stereotype whatever she wants. It's just, I think it's the delivery, and And I think the fearlessness, and also I think I've seen Ali Wong, even in her comedy special, be vulnerable and sort of set a joke up that's to say, hey, this is how I feel, and then make fun of it.
Okay, so her delivery is really good as well.
Humour is like facade.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
I think it's a good question because I don't know, and maybe, you could, chalk it up to, well, there's not as many female comedians as male comedians and make it political, but I don't want to make it political. I just don't think...
It could be.
Maybe, I don't know.
It could be the fact that we're uncomfortable at hearing that.
Let's make it political.
I don't know, but the point is...
Ali Wong does the same thing and I'm not uncomfortable with that.
Exactly right.
Breaking news, Alex Tsopoulos coming across as a chauvinist pig.
And eroded America. What?
Breaking news, Melbourne actor arrested.
What did I do? But I don't. I find it rare. Like for me, there aren't many female comedians that I think are funny.
Right.
And
but me too.
But
and I'm a female.
the ones that are, I think are great.
Yes.
Like for example, and I was watching it the other night actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fucking awesome show, and it's fucking hilarious. Is fucking absolutely fabulous.
Oh, the old
the old UK show from
You know what?
90s.
I relate more to UK English comedians. I love their comedy.
Yeah, English comedians, and I think there might be a difference. I think it might be a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But all the female comedians, because they're Dawn French. No, sorry, not Dawn French. She's funny too. But
Dawn French.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my love story.
Jennifer Saunders. That's the one who she created it.
Yeah.
And the other I forgot her name. The other actress that plays Patsy. They're fucking hilarious, man. And they're sending up women in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like vacuous, superficial, vain women, and it's fucking hilarious, man.
I need to watch a few more of them, but the one, I was just thinking of the one that I really got into a few years back, Peep Show. Have you seen it?
Peep Show, yeah.
UK show, and it's this guy that, has this inner voice that obviously talks out aloud, and it's fucking hilarious. It's one of the best shows. I think you guys would actually
Oh, you know what's funny? There's a UK show. Have you seen it? It's called The Toast of London.
No.
Dude, I don't watch TV.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay, I'll have to watch
Toast
it.
of London.
Toast of London, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, new?
It's I think it's been around for a few years.
UK humour is
UK
a little
humour.
drier.
I think I actually prefer. I mean, I like both. I like both.
Yeah.
But
both as in what? UK and American.
UK and American. I think the UK do better shows, like comedic shows.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Whereas I think stand-up comedians are known to be more from America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a classic stand-up comic.
Yeah.
But there's another stand-up comedian when we're going back to the whole ethnic thing, who does it really well. You're talking about Ali Wong.
Yeah.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
I love him!
He is fucking...
He is my favourite. And I follow him on Insta.
He's hilarious.
And he goes down to his, with Italian humour, he goes down to his fucking father's basement.
Yeah.
And he says, what the fuck is this? And there's always a can of WD-40 and all this stereotypical shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, the love of my life.
Yeah, he's fucking great,
I missed him by 1 hour in LA.
What do you mean? How did you miss him?
So I went to the comedy club in LA.
Yeah.
She was stalking him.
I saw him.
He got a flight.
No,
he got out. Oh, shit,
I saw his name. I saw his name and I'm like, he better be. Has he performed? And the guy was like, he's just finished. And I'm like, you're kidding. And I was leaving 2 days later and he was playing the next day after I left. And I was like,
was he still at the
shattered.
store? Was he still there?
No.
Oh.
Have you seen the bit?
So we got him for free.
You know what car he drives?
Have you seen the bit where he talks about back in the day when you would have people over at your house?
Yeah. The cake.
Yeah,
the cake.
And come in, sit down. And it's this whole thing. And then today when someone rings the doorbell, they're like, Get down. Get the gun.
Can I say though, I think that's what Tits is doing a great example of his physical comedy.
He's a real physical comedian.
Yeah, and that's half of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
his show anyway. That physical comedy is hilarious.
He's hilarious.
Like the down in the basement, was it the prosciutto making the salami? Did you remember that?
Oh, no, I
I just
haven't
see
seen
his
that one.
movement, and I'm
He's
just like,
gold.
oh my god, it's
I'll
gold.
have a look at him because I haven't really like.
Guys,
I'm busy
watch
getting into
it.
it. Just put him on
So
Google now, so I can.
good.
look at him.
He's on.
He's great.
He was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
yeah,
Jerry
he was on
Seinfeld.
that. Yeah, you're
which
right.
is the new season has come out. I've been watching it.
Yes, me too.
Dave Chappelle, Tracy Morgan's
Me
on it.
too.
Yeah.
Can I ask, dude?
However, do you hate though in that show where Seinfeld like laughs and you're like, what the fuck are you laughing?
Where he does that.
Yes, and you're just like, but you're not laughing.
Yeah.
You know, it does come down to editing though as well.
Yeah, it's annoying.
He's not the editor.
It's like, well,
A few
assuming he's
people
not
have
the
said
editor.
that
I'm
they
just like,
find.
mate.
A few people have said, and females, that they go, they don't like Seinfeld. Like they have this.
no,
in
I
their-
don't.
It's a
I don't
certain
know.
type of
you
humour.
know why?
It's a different.
Yeah.
No, I like. See, I actually
They
got
don't like
into
him.
the series, but I don't like him.
You know why?
You know why,
Because he's
though?
too smug.
He's
Yeah.
arrogant.
Well, think about it like
It's like,
this.
mate, you can be humble in that.
Hang
You're
on, hang on.
fine. You're fucking arrogant.
Hang on. This is why, and I'll tell you why. There's two reasons why people don't like Seinfeld. Women don't like, because I've heard
Tell
this
us,
before.
Jim.
No, I've heard this before. And this is. I'm not saying this
Penis
is why,
man.
but this is something that you're gonna have to consider. Yeah.
Sure.
Number one, here he's smug and he's arrogant, right? But the man is literally worth fucking $1 billion.
Does that make him?
Hang on. He had the highest running. I'm not saying he's right to be smug,
Yeah.
arrogant, but when you have that kind of power, you can afford to. Like Amy Schumer can come out and make fucking. Dude,
No, but I still think she's a dick.
wait a second. Okay,
it doesn't afford
hang on.
you that
Our
right.
opinions here don't reflect.
Sorry.
Our opinions here don't reflect or speak for the greater community of the universe. Yeah, we're only talking about ourselves here. Okay.
Yeah, and that's my opinion.
That's your opinion, but it doesn't speak for every woman.
No.
Exactly, and it's not the only opinion in the world.
Correct.
And it's not the only one that's right either.
Correct.
Exactly. That's
Well,
what
I'm not saying right or wrong. For me,
So I'm
it's
giving
right.
you some context on it. Okay.
What's the
I'm saying
context?
this is the context, right?
He's earned so much money.
No, not just that he's earned so much money, but his show and his stand-ups and what he's written and created have literally withstood over 20
Yeah,
years,
so I give
25
that art
years.
credit.
That's
I
what I'm
give
saying.
the art he created credit.
Okay,
do I
you
give
think-
him credit for being smug?
Okay.
No.
Do you think Jerry Lewis was arrogant?
Well, I don't know too much about him, to be honest.
Okay.
He's in the latest season as well.
Jerry Lewis?
Yeah.
He died last year.
I know.
Is that the one with the two man?
He's in the
I
final
know.
episode.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
the later season.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring it up.
Jerry Lewis is the original Nutty
Nutty
Professor.
Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, the Dean and
No,
Jerry.
I know the name, but
Okay,
it's
well,
like I need the face.
I put him up on.
Is he the guy in that used to do like a lot of Asian, like
No,
with,
No,
that's
dude, I put
Mickey.
up.
Yeah,
Is
you're
it
thinking
Mickey
about
Rooney?
yeah.
You're thinking of Mickey Rooney,
Yeah,
who did the
I am.
caricatures of Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I put
That's
up
not
two
him.
clips of Jerry Lewis.
Racist that.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
So full
No,
on.
I'm just it's context.
Yeah, it's full on, bro.
But you couldn't get away with that now.
No way, man. You get strung up now.
I put up two snippets of Jerry Lewis from an interview.
Jerry Lewis. I know. I can see the face.
Hang on.
Show me the face, and I'll know.
Okay, this interview was part of on the Dick Cavett show, and Jerry Lewis was basically, it was two people, yeah? He had his loud, zany, like over-the-top delivery, really high nasal, really, what's it called? Not paranoid, but just, what's the word I'm looking for, man? Just neurotic and just crazy antic sort of
Kind
comedian.
of wacky, yeah, though.
Yeah, like wacky and shit. And if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have Jim Carrey. You wouldn't have David Schwimmer doing his thing, the slapstick shit, the
I'm
Ross
sure
stuff.
I'll know if I see.
Okay, and then there was his other side of him, right, which was really serious and profound and really thought out. People would see him do the wacky zany shit because that's what they saw with Dean Martin. That's what they saw with his relationship with Sinatra and all that, and that's what they expected of him.
Yeah.
So when he came out with these really just solemn fucking interviews,
Yeah.
they thought he was smug and arrogant. Yeah. And they say the same thing. It's like, yeah, he had a certain level of smugness to him, but this was in the 70s. And he was literally the Jerry Seinfeld of the 70s to the point where everything he touched turned to gold because he was a fucking genius when he wrote stuff, yeah?
Right.
And it's because they didn't see him as the over-the-top caricature anymore and they just saw someone beneath it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's not the goofy cunt that I pay money to see, so why am I going to accept this individual? It's still a character that you're playing. I'll play these two. It's the same interview, but...
Saw that clip that you posted.
check this out, yeah?
How long did it take you to learn to trust your instincts? You know what I mean? I mean, when you went out to Hollywood, you started making films, and the thing to do is take everybody's advice, supposedly, when you're new. And it usually turns out that the performer's instinct is my theory anyway, is right, and not the people who are giving you advice.
It is right.
Did you find that?
Yeah.
I think your instinct, you have to follow it, because it's easy as hell to buy a ticket to get into the arena, but that one guy that's going, hi, it's a whole different story. And opinions are important. You should listen to them. Sounding boards are important. But if you don't follow your instinct and you follow the words of those on the perimeter, you'll wind up being what they are, and you'll be what they think, and you're not your own man. Nothing's worth that.
Hey, that's not smug.
Hang on, I'll give you one
That's
more.
someone who knows what he's talking about.
I'll give you one more, right? And I'll explain the context of everything.
Okay? Is it ever depressing to you when people just want you to be funny at a time when you just can't feel it and don't want to do it? And I don't mean on stage, because you can. Say, hey Jerry, make a face, do a funny thing.
Oh, that's not depressing. That's more degrading, I think. Mm-hmm. Because you'd like to be considered a human thinking thing behind that comic guise, and again, instinct. Let me be funny if I feel like being funny. And I would love to make you laugh at a party, but don't invite me to the party to do it, because I'll know that. Invite me because I'm a man. Mm-hmm. Once I get there, I may create some laughter, but let me come as a person. When you know you're invited so that maybe you'll go, ha-ha, no chance. First of all, you don't go. So you spend a lot of time alone.
What a dude, man. What an answer.
I really love that.
Dude, okay, let me tell you, this is where the arrogant smugness of Seifel comes into, yeah? That was you rarely saw that. You saw that in his interviews, and people thought he was smug and arrogant.
See, I don't.
You got to see the rest of it to get the context of it, right?
Right.
And then you'd go on Letterman and be like, hey, and be like losing his shit.
Yeah.
And that's what people laughed at, yeah?
Right.
Seinfeld, a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, somewhere there, he copped a lot of flack. Remember Kesha?
Yeah.
She did that song fucking...
Didn't he back away from her or something?
She approached him at like an award show.
To kiss him. She was
Right?
excited to see him.
Jerry, I love your show,
big
whatever.
fan
And he's like,
and-
oh, okay, thank you. Can I get a hug and a thing? And he's like, I don't know you, dude.
He literally backed away.
He's backed away. He's like, no, this is Kesha. Remember Kesha? Like, I can't remember the name of her song.
See, I don't think that's anything to harp on.
He
I
backed
get
away. He backed away and he walked off.
And he
right?
made a face like...
And dude, they fucking like lambasted him for it, right? Like, oh, what a arrogant cunt, la la la. And he came out and he's like, I don't just hug people I don't fucking know. Like, you wouldn't.
That PC bullshit we're all talking
You wouldn't hug
about.
someone on the street that you don't know, that
correct.
just bombards you. Like, yeah, you might like my show, you might think you know who I am, you know my character, but I don't fucking know you. I'm not going to just hug you because you approached me at a show.
And with all due respect, she does come across a bit like full on and trashy. Like,
this is the point. Right?
Like, it's a bit scary. Like, do you know what I mean?
And it's not in his character to do that.
Right.
It really isn't. He's not
And
fake.
exactly. I don't think that's smug.
They said that about Jerry Lewis as well, where he's not fake. If he didn't like you, he didn't want to be a part of you, just didn't. He didn't play that up. Now, this is the point, yeah? If you watch that, it's a 9-minute interview, that one there, the Dick Cavett one, and he says a lot of things that could be translated as arrogant, right? Like he's talking about his success and investments and shit, right? Now, Seinfeld was in that realm, right, in the 90s. He was in that fucking realm. They were paying him $1 million an episode, $2 million an episode, for an episode of Seinfeld, right?
Back then, yeah.
Now, this is the problem, right? A lot of women didn't connect with the show, and the writers themselves, like Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld, Larry Charles, they outright said, we didn't know how to write for a woman.
Yeah.
We had no... Like, Larry David's the most insecure human being on the planet.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like he starts losing his shit just at the idea of having to write a script. Literally. And they said, we don't know how to write for a fucking woman. We don't know. This comedy might be male-centric, and Elaine is part of the gang because she's like a feminist, but she hates men. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why, that's another reason why I brought you onto this podcast, because I knew you'd be able to stand up with 3 other individuals, 3 strong-minded men, opinionated men, because you're your own woman and you have the balls to go up against anyone. Like, does that make sense? That's why Elaine was brought into Seinfeld, because
I actually really liked her character.
Yeah, because she was like an irate, opinionated, neurotic woman, but she burnt every bridge. She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, she still expected to be treated like a lady, but at the same time swung an axe like she didn't fucking like you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people fail to... It's no one's... You connect with what you connect with, man. Like,
I get it.
I don't like shit on TV.
The thing is, though, like, I can see that or watch that interview, given I haven't watched 9 minutes of it, but my perception of that is, kudos, well done.
Exactly.
You know, a well-spoken, genuine man. It's not arrogant. It is what it is. It's realistic. And I think what I'm trying to say is with Jerry Seinfeld, whether it's been in the later years or whatever, he's obviously got a lot of accolades and things that to his testament that still hold the test of time. However, like, maybe there's a man that's also living in the past of his testament. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain level of humbleness that translates, but then, even with the stuff that you're creating now. And I think it could be editing, given. He may not have the final say. He should, but he may not have the final say. And yeah, like, there are parts of that show. I mean, I still watch it, but there are parts of that show I'm like, don't laugh if it's not funny. Like,
have you watched Jimmy Fallon?
It's just, to me, it's not about. It's just don't make it disingenuous.
Have you seen Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon's
yes,
Tonight Show.
Have.
He fucking fake laughs.
He annoys me too because he loves everybody, and I'm just like, you can't possibly love everybody.
Yeah, that's the point.
And I'm just like, oh, that's annoying. Yeah, he is annoying and like entertaining because he has like different segments and games and things that are quite.
But he is an individual who's fucking annoying.
But I find him annoying.
I find him annoying
I like
too.
Conan, man.
Conan, you know why?
Me too.
Because
the
Conan,
ginger guy.
Yeah, he's quite harsh.
Conan was a writer.
He's so funny.
Conan was a writer on SNL. He was a writer of the original Simpson episodes, some of the best ones.
Yeah.
These are comedian writers.
Right.
There's a difference between being, and that's what shits me when people fucking take an actor from a show and then translate the actor as the writer and producer of that show. Oh my God, she's so funny. She didn't come up with what she's portraying. She's being directed and she has a script that was prepared for her. And men, like I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, Alex would see it. Do you know what I remember, man? This guy's falling asleep.
It's the wine.
Have some sugar there. Why are you having wine? You listen to her.
Pistachios.
Come on, Laka.
I'm just having a bit of a...
How
good does it feel, Tits?
Loving some vino.
Sliding into my pajamas right
Hearing
now.
about all this, and I've got to hit the...
Dude, I remember when Alex was doing... And I called him up, or maybe I saw him, I can't remember what it was, and I said, how's it all going, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, it's all right. I go, what are the other cunts like that you're working with? He's like, he goes, there's one dickhead that's sort of getting on my nerves a bit. I'm like, why? And he said, I can't remember the name of the actor or what it was specifically.
Let's not name names. Let's not name any names.
He just said it was a physical sort of scene, right?
Yeah.
It was a physical sort of scene.
Ooh, I know.
And the guy...
Please don't ruin my...
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a physical sort of scene, and one of the guys playing opposite him got it into his head that he was actually a fucking, like a star. Like, as in like a physical star, as in like he was like a fucking tough guy. When he was just an actor. But he sort of manhandled this guy a bit too much, to the point where, not because it was part of the scene, but because he just thought he was a sick cunt. Because he let the direction and his character take over, where he got an idea of himself that hey, I'm not an actor right now, I'm a legitimate bad guy. Like, I'm a tough cunt.
It's like take on that persona.
And it's like, calm down.
And I can't remember what show that was. Just to be clear, I don't know what that show is.
Yeah.
And the actor
disclaimer
is remaining nameless. So
yeah. I just remember it, man. Like, you've been in 100 fucking productions. Man. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but there have been instances where
ego takes over.
Where maybe an ego takes over.
Exactly.
But in your head, after they say, "Okay, guys, scene's over," and you look at this guy, this guy, he's a smasher.
I wonder how many times that's happened in love scenes. Cut. I said cut.
Give me a minute.
I mean, it's a good question. It is a good question.
And I mean, what? The Me Too movement starts there. What can you say? He fucking said cut.